Hello, my name is Sharatuna Jihablanti Tamizan. My ID number is MDB2402130. I am diploma student in business studies. Inflation refers to a sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services in an economy over a period of time. Main type of inflation. The first one is demand pull inflation. This occurs when there is an increase in overall demand for goods and services that outstrip the available supply. Essentially, too much money is chasing too few goods, leading to price increases. This type of inflation arises when the cost of production for business increase. These increases costs such as high wages or raw material prices are then passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. The last one is monetary inflation, refers to sustained increase in the money supply of a country resulting in price inflation. The Round 95 will subsidy help low and middle income households while limiting benefits for higher income groups. In June 2024, the share price rose by 20.10 due to subsidy cuts, but strong enforcement and support measures keep broader price increase under control. This shows how targeted policies can manage inflation effectively. The Round 95 will subsidy help low and middle income households while limiting benefits for higher income groups. In June 2024, the share price rose by 20.10 due to subsidy cuts, but strong enforcement and support measures keep broader price increase under control. This shows how targeted policies can manage inflation effectively. Current economic issue in Malaysia. Inflation is forecasted by Bank Negara Malaysia to range between 2.0% and 3.5% in 2025. This is largely due to fluctuation in global commodity prices such as oil.
My name is Nur Alia Kristina binti Syarul Rizwan. My ID number is MDB2402051.
Inflation affects every ringgit we spend, from groceries to food, and even our long-term savings. But how is inflation measured? And what shapes the number we see each month? In this presentation, we will explore Malaysia's inflation performance, how the Consumer Price Index works, and what risk lies ahead for the economy. Inflation affects every ringgit we spend. Let's take a closer look at Malaysia's inflation performance, where we are and where we are heading. In 2023, Malaysia recorded an inflation rate of 2.4% based on actual data from Bank Negara. By 2024, inflation is expected to ease to 1.9% thanks to stabilizing domestic price. But looking ahead to 2025, the outlook becomes more uncertain, with forecasts ranging from 2.0% to 3.5% depending on how local and global pressures unfold. This sits mostly within BNM's target band, but still requires attention as uncertainties unfold. So, what's shaping this forecast? First, the government is shifting from blanket aid to target subsidies, focusing only on the B40 group and essential sectors. This limits inflationary pressure while preserving fiscal space. Second, we are seeing an expansion of the sales and service tax (SST). More goods and services are now taxed, which may cause price adjustments in the short term. And third, global risks continue to loom, including geopolitical tensions, volatile oil price, and ongoing supply chain. Now, let's break down how the Consumer Price Index or CPI is actually calculated. Step 1. Price collection. Every month, government officers collect the price of hundreds of everyday items from groceries and food to household products across various cities and towns. Step 2. The weighting system. These items are grouped into a CPI basket with different weight based on how much the average Malaysian spends on each. So, for example, food might carry more weight than transport or personal care depending on consumer habits. The CPI formula. Each item's current price is compared to its baseline year price. Then, we apply this simple equation. Current price divided by base year price multiplied by 100. This gives us the index number, and the percentage change tells us how price have moved over time. All three steps appear together and end in one neat horizontal flow. Together, these three steps form the foundation of how we measure inflation in Malaysia, making CPI a reliable tool to track the cost of living. To understand Malaysia's inflation trend, we need to look at one major policy shift, the reform of fuel subsidies. In January 2023, the government continued with blanket diesel subsidies, which meant every rich or poor paid the same low price. By December 2023, a change was announced. A plan to to shift towards more targeted system to reduce leakage and better manage public funds. And in July 2024, the government launched a fleet card system for commercial vehicles, ensuring business can still accept control the resale price without misuse. These milestones reflect a major policy evolution, one that balances fiscal stability with protection for vulnerable groups. Several risks could still influence major inflation outlook moving forward. First, we have global trade uncertainty. Ongoing geopolitical tensions, shipping disruptions, and export restrictions could drive up the cost of important goods, especially food and fuel. Security remains a concern. Climate change, crop shortage, or sudden price shocks in the global food market can lead to spikes in local food price, which make up a large portion of Malaysia's CPI basket. Third, we must watch interest rate decisions. A sudden hike, whether local or global, could affect borrowing costs, business investment, and household spending, all of which feed back into inflation. In short, while inflation is likely to stay manageable, it depends heavily on how well we adapt our policy to global and domestic.
Hi, my name is Nur Arisa Dania binti Azrin Nizam. My ID number is MDB 2402132. I am diploma student in business studies, and I will present to you answer for question 3. Firstly, impact on individual. First point, purchasing power decline. Inflation causes the value of our money to go down. That means even though we're spending the same amount, we're getting less. Everyday items like groceries, toiletries, and even simple meals now cost more than before. So people actually feel their income shrinking. For the next point, higher daily costs. Not only are groceries more expensive, but transport and eating out also cost more now. This affects people in towns and villages. Even basic meals are getting harder to afford. And for the last point, pressure on low-income households. Lower income groups like B40 and some M40 households are struggling the most. Rising costs make it harder for them to cover essentials like food and transport. We're moving on to the next one, impact on society welfare. First point, spending behavior changes. Because of inflation, people are becoming more careful. They focus on important items like rice and egg and avoid spending on extra things like snacks or new clothes. Second point, social pressure builds up. When people feel they can't cope, public pressure increases. This can lead to protests or strong reaction. The government is expected to help, especially when families feel ignored. For the last point, T20 versus B40. Wealthier families in the T20 group can adjust more easily, but B40 groups really feel the impact. Inflation makes the income gap feel even bigger. And for the last one, impact on standard living. First point, wages versus inflation. Wages are increasing a little, but not enough. Many people can cover basic costs, but can't upgrade their lifestyle or save more. Next point, core living costs. Essential costs like rent, education, and healthcare are going up too. Most families can manage their basic needs, but things like holidays or treats are become more harder to afford. A real example from the article is diesel. In June 2024, prices went up by 56%, from 2 ringgit 15 cents to 3 ringgit 45 cents. This hit lorry drivers, farmers, and small business owners hard, since transport is now more expensive. To sum up, inflation affects all of us, but some more than others. Lower income groups feel it the most. The government must manage inflation while still support people's basic needs.
Hi, my name is Rohana binti Abdullah. My ID number is MDB 2402124. Question number 4. With supporting data explain the policy measure the government agencies or non-government organization NGO that could be effective in controlling rising inflation in Malaysia based on the article. Inflation is persistent rise in the general price level of goods and services, which can erode purchasing power and economic stability. Based on the article, Malaysia's inflation is projected to average 2.0% to 3.5% in 2025. To control inflation, the government and NGOs must work together, deploying smart policies that strike a balance between affordability and economic stability. Here's policy measure to control inflation. The first one is target fuel subsidy rationalization. The government has implemented target RON 95 fuel subsidies to reduce fiscal burden while minimizing inflationary pressure. The impact in June 2004 diesel subsidy rationalization led to a 20.1% price increase in diesel, but border inflation remains stable at 1.9% due to mitigation measure. Target subsidy ensure only eligible group benefit, reducing excessive demand pull inflation. Next, number 2, expansion scope of the sales and service tax SST. Expanding the scope of SST helps generate government revenue without excessive reliance on direct taxes that could increase consumer price. Example, vehicle insurance saw only a 0.8% increase, showing limited inflationary spillover. Next, number 3, minimum wage adjustment. The budget 2025 includes a minimum wage increase to support workers' purchasing power. From that, the impact is, according to Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM), past wage hikes had a minimal inflationary effect. This ensures wage growth does not trigger a wage price spiral where higher wages lead to higher production costs and price. Policy number 4, strengthening price control and enforcement. The government monitor essential goods such as food and beverage to prevent profiteering. Impact from that, NGOs like FOMCA, Federation of Malaysian Consumer Association, advocate for fair pricing and consumer protection.